you're broke. Or at least, you're broker than you want to admit. And the worst part, you know exactly why. Let me guess, you clicked this because you're tired of watching other people get rich while you're stuck refreshing your bank account app like it's going to magically change. You see the Instagram entrepreneurs, the crypto bros, the friend from high school who somehow owns 3 rental properties. And you're sitting there wondering when it's your turn. Everyone wants to save their first $1 million fast. But here's the uncomfortable truth most people refuse to accept. Building that million isn't about finding some secret hack or investment trick. It's mathematically simple. The reason 99% of people never see it has nothing to do with luck or connections. It's because they can't handle 20 years of being uncomfortable while everyone around them is living their best life. I'm going to walk you through 7 steps to save your first $1 million fast, or at least as fast as it's actually possible without winning the lottery or inheriting wealth. Most of you won't make it past step 3, not because you can't, but because you'd rather feel rich now than actually be rich later. You'd rather have the new car, the nice apartment, the weekend trips to Miami. But if you're one of the 3% who's genuinely tired of being broke, not I need a vacation tired, but I'm scared about my future tired, then pay attention. This is the brutal blueprint that actually works. The one that requires choices your friends will mock you for. Hit that subscribe button. If you can't commit to a free subscription, you definitely can't commit to building wealth. Consider it a test. Step 1. Accept you're starting from negative $50,000. Here's what nobody wants to hear. You're not starting from zero. You're starting from deep in the hole. Student loans, car payment, credit cards, that 0% interest for 12 months furniture you bought because you deserved it. Add it up. Actually, pause this video and add it up. I'll wait. You didn't do it because you're scared to see the real number. Meet Derek. Derek is 28, makes $75,000 a year, and thinks he's doing well. Decent apartment, 2021 Honda Civic, eats out 3 times a week, gym membership he uses twice a month. Derek would tell you he's middle class and on track. Derek is delusional. Derek has $42,000 in student loans, $18,000 on his car, and $8,000 across 3 credit cards he totally has under control. That's $68,000 in debt. His net worth isn't $75,000, it's negative $67,000. And Derek thinks he's fine because he can make minimum payments and still afford Spotify. This is you. Maybe different numbers, maybe worse, maybe slightly better. But if you have any debt, you're not starting from zero. You're starting from deep in the hole. Here's the math that'll make you cry. If Derek pays minimums, he'll spend over $12,000 a year just on interest. That's $12,000 that could build wealth. Instead, it's making banks richer every year. Getting out of debt requires living like you make $40,000 when you actually make $75,000. For years, while your friends go to Coachella and buy $800 sneakers. That's where most people quit, because being in debt is comfortable. You can still have fun, still feel rich. Getting out of debt requires feeling poor while having a decent income. Most people would rather be broke forever than feel broke temporarily. Step 2. Stop pretending $80K makes you rich. Let's talk about lifestyle inflation, the silent killer of financial freedom. You got a raise from $60,000 to $80,000. Congratulations. Know what happened next? Rent went from $1,200 to $1,800 because you deserve a nicer place. Car payment doubled. Grocery bill tripled because now you shop at Whole Foods. Your income went up $20,000. Your expenses went up $22,000. You're more broke than before, just with nicer stuff. Meet Vanessa. Vanessa is 32, makes $90,000 a year, and has $200 in savings. Not $200,000, $200. Less than her monthly Starbucks budget. But her Instagram? Immaculate. Weekend trips to Napa, brunch spots charging $18 for avocado toast. Designer handbag in every photo. Her 8,000 followers think she's thriving. Her credit cards know the truth. Vanessa will never be a millionaire, not because she doesn't make enough. She makes more than 70% of Americans. She'll never be a millionaire because she's addicted to looking rich instead of being rich. Before you judge Vanessa, look at your own life. How much did you spend last month on things that made you feel successful but didn't build wealth? Premium streaming services you barely use, the car that's slightly nicer than needed, the apartment in the cool neighborhood costing $500 more monthly. Here's the brutal truth. You have to choose between looking rich and being rich. You can't have both. Not at 80K, not at 150K. Maybe at 500K you can do both, but probably not. People who actually become millionaires, they drive 10-year-old Toyotas while making six figures. They have roommates at 30 to save $1,000 monthly. They get mocked for being cheap, right up until they retire at 45 while everyone else is grinding. Want to save $1 million? Live like you make half what you actually make. The other half goes to debt, investments, actual wealth, not performing wealth for people who don't care about you. If you're still watching, you're in the top 5% who actually want to change. Most people clicked away because this is too uncomfortable. But you're still here. That means something.
Step 3. The $1,000 a month prison. Let me ruin your day with math. This is where reality hits and most dreams die. If you save $1,000 monthly and invest in an index fund averaging 8% returns, how long to hit $1 million? 25 years. If you're 30 right now, you'll hit $1 million at 55, not 35. Not 40, 55. But the title said fast. Yeah, well, fast in financial terms means under 3 decades. The alternative is 40 years or never. Here's the breakdown. Year 1, you save $12,000. With 8% returns, you end with about $12,500. Year 5, $73,000. You're still working, still stressed, eating meal prepped chicken for the 4th day straight. Year 10, $183,000. Year 40, you've grinded for a decade, friends own houses, you're in that cheap apartment dumping everything into investments. People ask if you're okay, family's concerned, when will you settle down, buy a real car? This is where 90% quit. $183,000 feels like a lot, but not millionaire money. You sacrificed your entire 30s and you're not even 20% there. But here's where compound interest gets interesting. Year 15. $345,000. Year 20, $589,000. Then suddenly, years 21 to 25, you rocket from $589,000 to over $1 million. The last 5 years do more work than the first 15 combined. That's compound interest. Boring as hell at the start, magical at the end. But you must survive the boring part. Your entire 30s and half your 40s watching everyone else live their life while you aggressively build wealth. Can you do it faster? Save $2,000 monthly and hit it in 18 years instead of 25. But if you make $80,000, you're taking home maybe $55,000 after taxes and trying to save $24,000. That leaves $31,000 for rent, food, transportation, and everything else. In America, good luck. Or save $500 monthly like most advice suggests and hit $1 million at 65, right when you plan to retire anyway. Halfway through this video and I haven't lied once. This is actual math, what building wealth really looks like. No shortcuts, no hacks, no secret strategies influencers are gatekeeping. Just brutal, uncomfortable, decades-long discipline. Still want that million? Step 4. Marry rich or get uncomfortable. Here's something that'll make you angry. The easiest way to build wealth is with a partner. 2 people making $70,000 each, living like they make $70,000 total, can save $70,000 yearly. Do that 10 years and you're at $700,000 before investment returns. Add compound interest and you're a millionaire by late 30s. But that requires finding a partner equally obsessed with building wealth. Those people are rare. Most people are Vanessa. They want the aesthetic of success more than financial freedom. Meet Brandon and Whitney. Both 30, both make $85,000, both single. 5 years later, Brandon bought a new car after college, $35,000 financed at 6%. Nice 1-bedroom in a trendy neighborhood for $1,800 monthly because location matters for networking. Paid off credit cards twice, but they keep creeping back. Brandon has $5,000 in retirement, maybe $2,000 in savings. Whitney drives a 2012 Camry bought cash for $8,000. It's ugly, makes noises. She doesn't care. Lives with a roommate in a boring neighborhood, pays $900 monthly. Friends think she's weird, family thinks she's too extreme. Whitney has $145,000 in investments. Same age, same salary, same 5 years. One has $145,000, the other has basically nothing. The difference? Whitney was willing to be uncomfortable. Brandon wanted to feel successful. Don't want to wait 25 years? 3 options. Option 1, increase income. Side hustle, career jump, high income skill. Every extra $10,000 you make and invest shaves 2 to 3 years off your timeline. Option 2, marry someone like Whitney. Find a partner on the same wealth building journey. 2 aggressive savers hit $1 million in half the time. Good luck finding someone on Hinge whose bio says, seeking partner for aggressive index fund investing. Or option 3, get wildly lucky. Business blows up, get in early on next big tech company, win the lottery. These aren't strategies. These are fantasies. This is where most quit. Not because you can't, but because the math is depressing. 25 years feels like forever. Friends buying houses, getting married, having kids, traveling to Europe. You're eating ramen to dump another $1,000 into VOO. But where will you be in 25 years anyway? You'll be 55 whether you save or not. The only question is, will you be 55 and wealthy or 55 and broke? Choose. Step 5. The market doesn't care about your feelings. Let's talk about what everyone's afraid to mention. The market will crash while you're doing this. Probably multiple times. You'll watch your portfolio drop 30%, maybe 40. That $200,000 you spent a decade building turns into $130,000 overnight. You'll panic. This is the real test. Not saving, not discipline. Can you watch your wealth evaporate temporarily and not touch it? 2008 crash, down 50%. People who sold lost everything. People who held and kept buying, rich now. 2020 COVID crash, down 34% in 1 month. Fastest recovery in history. Panic sellers missed the entire rebound. 2022, worst year for stocks and bonds simultaneously in decades. Everyone said the market was dead. 2023, up 26%. The market doesn't care that you're scared. Doesn't care your friends say pull your money out. Doesn't care every financial news outlet screams recession and depression. The market rewards people who handle discomfort. Punishes everyone else. Remember Derek? Delusional Derek with negative net worth? Let me tell you what happened. Derek is now 38, finally paid off student loans 3 years ago. Got $15,000 in his 401k he barely contributes to. Makes $95,000 now. Great salary. Still lives paycheck to paycheck. Every raise, his expenses match. He's dating someone who loves to travel and just spent $4,000 on Cancun on a credit card. Derek will never retire. He'll work until 70, maybe 75. Not because he loves his job, but because he has no choice. He'll spend his 60s stressed about money, watching friends who saved aggressively retire early. He'll wonder where it went wrong. It went wrong at 28 when he decided minimum payments and looking successful were more important than building wealth. Don't be Derek. Here's the formula. 15 to 20% of gross income goes straight to investments. Every month, no exceptions. Mark it up, invest. Mark it down, invest. Bonus, invest 50%. Raise, pretend it didn't happen, and invest the difference. The real secret to becoming a millionaire is not picking stocks, not timing the market, not complicated strategies. It's being boring and consistent longer than everyone else can stand. Index funds, regular contributions, never selling for decades. That's it. So simple it feels like it can't work, but it does. Boring, slow, requires no intelligence, no special knowledge, no insider information. Just doing the same thing for 25 years while everyone chases the next hot trend. Can you be that boring?
Step 6. The 3 ways people actually hit $1 million. Let's get real about how people actually become millionaires. Not the fantasy, the actual version. Way 1. Time and discipline. The boring way I've been describing. Save aggressively, invest consistently, wait 20, 25 years. Works for anyone making $60,000 plus. Requires 0 luck, 0 connections, 0 special circumstances. Just discipline. About 8% of Americans actually do this. Not because it's hard to understand, because it requires delayed gratification most can't handle. Way 2. Income explosion. You get really good at something valuable, and income skyrockets. Software engineers at FANG making $300K plus, doctors finishing residency jumping to $400K, salespeople figuring out enterprise software pulling $250K commissions. At those levels, you can max retirement accounts, $23,000 for 401K, $7,000 for IRA, still live nice and hit $1 million in 10, 15 years instead of 25. This requires years of education, rare talent, or stumbling into a high-paying field. Possible, but not a strategy you can plan around. Way 3, marry it. Statistically, a huge percentage of millionaires got there combining finances with a spouse who's also a high earner or a saver. 2 people making $85K each, living off one income and investing the other, become millionaires in 12, 15 years. It's math. But this requires finding someone on the same page financially. Most people marry for love, chemistry, or not being alone than financial compatibility. Fine. But don't pretend you're serious about building wealth if your partner spends like Vanessa. Here's what I notice. Everyone wants to be a millionaire. Nobody wants to do what millionaires actually do. Millionaires drive old cars. You want new ones every 5 years.
Millionaires live below their means. You want to live at your means or above. Millionaires invest through crashes. You want to sell when scared. Millionaires delay gratification for decades. You want to enjoy life now while young. That's the disconnect. You want the result without the process, the destination without the journey, to be wealthy without ever feeling poor. If you've made it this far, without rage quitting, you're in the top 1% of viewers. Most clicked away because this is too uncomfortable, too real. But you're still here, which means you might actually be serious. So here's the action plan. Pick one of those three ways. Just one. Commit to it for the next decade. Can't explode income? Go with way one. Save 15 to 20% of gross income, invest in boring index funds, don't touch it for 25 years. Can explode income? Grind on that. Learn the skill, get certifications, make career moves, but still save aggressively. High income doesn't equal wealth if you spend it all. Can find a financial partner? Great. But be honest about what you're looking for. Don't marry someone financially incompatible, then wonder why you can't build wealth together. Pick one. Start today. Not tomorrow, not Monday, today. Step 7. Why you won't do any of this. Let's end with brutal honesty. You're probably not going to do this. Not because you can't. You absolutely can. The math works. The strategy works. Millions have done exactly this and become wealthy. You won't do it because your friends will pressure you to spend. Every weekend, there's another birthday dinner, bachelor party, another you only live once expense. You'll cave because you don't want to be the cheap friend. Social media will make you feel poor. You'll see people your age buying houses, driving nice cars, taking amazing vacations. You'll forget most are drowning in debt, living paycheck to paycheck. You'll just see the Instagram version and feel behind. Instant gratification will win. Every month, that $1,000 sitting there, supposed to go to investments, you'll think, what's 1 month? I really deserve this. I'll double up next month. You won't double up next month. You'll get tired. Year 3 of aggressive saving, you'll be exhausted. Wonder if it's worth it. So your portfolio at $40,000 and think, this is taking forever. What's the point? You'll slow down or quit entirely. The market will scare you. First time you lose $20,000 in a week, you'll panic, want to sell everything, and wait for things to stabilize. That's exactly when you lose. You'll rationalize. I'm young, should enjoy life now. You can't take it with you. Life's too short to be miserable for 25 years. All technically true. All ways to justify staying broke forever. That's fine. Seriously. If you'd rather live a more expensive lifestyle now and work until 70, that's a valid choice. Just be honest about it. Don't pretend you want to build wealth when you really want to feel rich today. Remember Vanessa? Instagram Vanessa with $200 in savings? She's genuinely happy. Loves her life. Not laying awake worrying about retirement. Living in the moment, enjoying her 30s, having experiences. She'll just have to work forever. And she's okay with that trade-off. Are you? Because here's the thing. You can't have both. Not at normal income levels. Either live like you're rich now and work forever, or live modestly now and have the option to retire early. Brandon or Whitney, Vanessa or Derek. You have to choose. Most people choose Brandon and Vanessa, the comfortable now. Then they're shocked when they're 60 and can't afford to retire. The 3% choose Whitney, uncomfortable now for freedom later. Which one are you? If you made it to the end, congratulations. You've done something 95% of viewers won't. Sat through uncomfortable financial truth. Here's your actual roadmap to $1 million. Get out of debt. All of it. High interest first, but ultimately all. Save 15 to 20% of gross income. Every month, no excuses. Invest in boring index funds. VOO, VTI, VTSAX. Pick one and stop overthinking. Don't touch it. Not when it drops. Not when you need a new car. Not when friends buy houses. Not ever. Do that for 20 to 25 years. That's it. That's the whole strategy. Will you do it? Probably not. And that's okay. This video isn't for everyone. It's for the 3% genuinely tired of being broke and willing to make uncomfortable choices for 2 decades. If that's you, welcome to the club. It's small, but it's the club that retires before 70. If not, no judgment. Enjoy your life. Spend your money. Have experiences. Just don't complain about being broke when you're 65. If you're on the fence, here's my challenge. Try it for 1 year. Just one. Save aggressively, invest consistently, ignore market noise. After a year, check your progress. See how it feels. Then decide if you want to keep going or live differently. 1 year. Can you do that? If you found this valuable, or if it made you angry because it's too real, hit that like button. Subscribe for more financial honesty without the bullshit. Drop a comment telling me which character you are: Derek, Vanessa, Brandon, or Whitney. I'll see you in the next one.